How are you, Francisco?
Doing great.
Wonderful.
I'm Sonic, a little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package.
I saw the movie last night.
Oh, good.
And I really love it.
Great.
After all the
Thank
criticisms and all the things that have been going with Sonic the movie since a couple of years, I want to ask you first, how did you end up taking the project?
I don't know about Ben, but for me it was really easy. My agent sent me the script. I thought it was a cool concept and a way to bring this iconic video game character to life and to the big screen. Jim Carrey was signed on to play Robotnik, and we were talking about Ben for doing the voice. It was like, I want to be in this family.
They had me at the very beginning when they were trying to sell the movie to a studio, to Paramount or wherever it have it. They asked me to do a test of it, just to be the voice, just for the test. So they shot, Jeff Fowler, the director, shot a 5-minute little clip, which I've heard is going to be in the Blu-ray or whatever, yeah.
Great.
And then they asked me to improvise and to some written stuff, and so I recorded it for that. And then after they sold it, I got lucky enough as they built James and Jim and Tika that they just could not shake my head. They liked my voice so much in it that instead of going to Daniel Day-Lewis, who would have been amazing.
Right. Well, he was dying to do it.
He really wanted. He's a big Sonic guy.
Did you see the handwritten letter he wrote to Paramount?
I know, it's
Jeff?
as Sonic. He wrote it as a hedgehog.
Yeah,
he's
it's crazy.
But then I lucked out and I got to stay it, and I could not have been happier.
20 minutes ago, an energy surge knocked out power across the entire Pacific Northwest.
Who's there?
Why are you hiding out in my garage?
The entire military is after me.
Congratulations, I really enjoyed the movie.
Thank you.
And really enjoyed to see it playing this character, which it's a very funny build.
Yeah, people are enjoying me going back to just some wacky, fun stuff, you know, and it's especially fun for me because, you know, some of the most gratifying things I've ever done have been kind of geared toward a child audience or childlike audience, and just infinite gratification from that. You know, people dressing up on Halloween as the characters, or, you know, coming to me 30 years later and saying, you know, I grew up with Ace and I grew up with The Mask and I'm now a filmmaker. Do you want to do something? You know, and I look forward to a lot of that. You know, that feels so good.
Oh my God, stop the car right now. What? The world's largest rubber band ball? We gotta see it.
No, this is not some fun family road trip.
You're right. It was lame. Gift shop was cool though.
I remember when I was playing with Sonic, the character didn't have a voice. How difficult was for you to have this task that it could be like something normal, but in the end it's like a cold piece, cold character with no reference.
Yeah, so for me, if you play that first and second game, there really isn't anything to go off of, and that's kind of how I was introduced to it. There have been some animated shows in the past that have great people, Jaleel White and Roger Craig. There's all these great people who voiced it, but for me, I kind of just played the video game again and read the script and saw him as like this kid that had so much energy and so much positivity that he wanted to bring out into the world, but he was supposed to stay hidden. And then Tom is his first excuse to get out into the world, and he just like explodes with all this energy because he's meeting his idol and he's doing all these things. So I tried to just play it exactly like that. That when you see it, of course you see a hedgehog, but you feel a little kid really excited to be out there.
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? You start with, first of all, what does the character believe about himself? You know, and I believe that Robotnik, on the surface, thinks he's this super genius, and in fact he is. He's built this insane world, and he wants to stain the world with his machines, you know, so that nothing can be done without him and his name attached. And we see a lot of that, you know, these days. Megalomaniacal billionaires, you know, with the perfect idea of how to run the world. So he's that, but it's born out of neglect. It's born out of loneliness. And there's a lot of loneliness in the theme of this movie, you know, and looking for a friend. So, you know, it is basically, you know, the theme is loneliness, and it is, he is compensating for this feeling of absolute worthlessness you know, which is super fun to play, you know, and the voice happens out of that. The voice happens out of that, the extra, almost Shakespearean effect behind the voice is the need to be perceived as intelligent. Of course, he's a 300 IQ, so it took me a week and a half to prepare. Robotnik wants to control humanity with his machines. Sonic is a power that he needs to control the world.
What I really love about the movie, it's about the theme. It's about the friendship, it's
Yes.
about loyalty, but as well is trusting each other instead of fearing each other, which is
Right.
happening right now everywhere.
Yes, exactly, and that's why this year, I became a cartoonist, a political cartoonist, and which I'm like, wow, how did that happen? But it happened out of passion. And it happened out of my concern, and it was like my opportunity to pick up the sword like Arjuna and, you know, fight my battle and let my beliefs be known. I've done that for 3 years, and now I've put that aside because people know how I feel. I don't have to keep beating the drum. Everybody has a vote, and so I've done enough of that, and now I want to concentrate on the absolute abundance of the universe and the sweetness of it. And if you get stuck in politics too long, it's who you really are is so immense. It's too small, you know, and you feel that constriction, you know, after a while. You feel you're being constricted and turned into a wrinkled up little thing when, you know, there's nothing that I'm not, you know, in my mind. So it's just too small for me.
I want to ask about your art.
Yes.
I'll call it your art
Yeah.
that you're sharing with us, and that positivity that you have shared with that mango cartoon that
Yeah.
you share, and
That's
with
my new
gratitude,
obsession.
Yeah.
And really, it honestly means, you know, I have a mango tree on my property. And that mango tree is a gigantic, thick, it's like the size of this room, the trunk of it. And it offshoots into like 20 different trunks, or 20 different branches, but they're like trunks, all of them. And I looked at that tree one day just recently. I was coming into 2020, and I went, how am I going to proceed? How do I want to proceed? And I want to get back to the larger picture and the love and just the joy of life. And so I looked at that tree and I thought to myself, that tree is the answer. That tree is the one that is the many. And I've got to get back to being the one that is the many, you know, to be connected to you and connected to them and joyful that we're going to be, you know, I look at it like every month. Every month in 2020 is May, and the tree is full of mangoes. And all we got to do is pick them and look at them and enjoy them and taste them, you know, because there's a lot still, you know, that we can share.
Is that all you got?
No, but thank you for asking.
Here comes the boom.
How are you not dead?
I have no idea.
How was for you filming this thing with some scenes with animated? I read that there was maybe a custom Sonic on the set or something like that.
Yeah, there were like 2 or 3 different versions of what I would be looking at when the cameras rolled, and one was just sort of a kind of a stuffed animal plushie thing. Another one was a little more like realistic. You know, the art department actually created something really like what the character was going to look like in the movie. One was just a blue beanbag. I mean, it was like all these different things. So you're staring at it. You're each time trying to gauge how tall he is when you're sitting in the truck with him, where his eyes would be, and they kind of set that there. And then when you're driving, you're kind of looking at that. Because the audience can tell if you're looking too far past something, it looks like your eyes go blank, you know, so there's a triangulation thing. That's what it looks like you're looking at something close. So all of those like weird skills you have to like factor into the process, but I like the challenge of it. And it also allows me to like kind of create, have a little control over the scene and like have fun and create something that, you know, that might not have been there if someone else was there, right? I don't know. You're like, yeah, you like to be it all about you, right? Yeah,
So you get to
all
hear yourself.
about you.